bet I could forget. Hi guys, are we even recording? I can't tell. We got, yeah, I see the red light up there. We got the new camera going here, so we're gonna do it this way. This is Rob, kind of doing it, kicking it Wes S style again. The trendsetter, Mr. Wes. And of course, got Christy.
Hi.
Hi. So I guess since we're both doing it, we're kind of kicking it staff cup and sit. No, staff. Wait a minute. Staff.
Staff sergeant.
Take a breath.
And sippy cup.
Staff sergeant and sippy cup. That's, I like that. We may have. Oh, that's great. We may have to change it up. It'll just be staff cup and sippy sergeant now for a while.
Sergeant Sippy.
Sergeant Sippy. All right. Oh my gosh. We're on the road going to Lubbock. It's Christy's birthday. Happy birthday, Christy.
Thank you.
She's 55 years old today.
No.
Maybe not quite.
No.
But we just thought we'd take a couple of minutes here and just do a little quick something. Bug Out Brad did a video a couple of days ago that was something that everybody should think about, and we thought about it a little bit too. And that is, if things got bad and you had to be on guard all the time, all of a sudden sleep and rest and relaxation is out the window. And that's something we know a little bit about. I certainly do. I've spent a great part of my life in sleep deprivation, jobs that kept me up all night or that just had weird hours and weird schedules for. And I saw from a lot of the comments on Brad's video that he did that a lot of people can resemble that remark. And they have had a little experience with not getting enough sleep too. And so, I wonder if I should actually pay attention to the speed limit in here.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah. Let me bump my speed down a little bit. Just because I don't really, you know, that truck doesn't give a crap up there, so I don't give a crap too. Maybe. I've had plenty of jobs where I would not get a lot of sleep, and times I've got a weird sleep type of schedule anyway. What are you seeing?
Just making sure you can see you.
Oh, yeah, because that's important. I'd rather see you. Got a couple of quick stories on being sleep deprived, and one of the things that Brad's video kind of touched on was the fact that you need to have a plan in place so that you don't have to think about everything all of a sudden. If something happened and you had to jump and go, you don't want to have to think it through. That's the wrong time to be thinking, where are we going to go? What are we going to take? Which vehicle are we going to use? All that kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing that needs to be thought out ahead of time. And so, a little quick story. When I was doing snow plowing in Colorado one year, we got a snowstorm that started on December. My dates may be off by a day or two either way here, but it started snowing on December the 30th, and it didn't quit snowing. I mean, did not stop snowing until February the 4th. And during that time, we estimated we got about 17.5 feet of snow during that period of time. Well, I had a lot of contracts that year, and so a buddy of mine had a lot too, and we wound up, you couldn't hardly keep up with it. During that period of time, we averaged about 2 hours of sleep a night. And it doesn't take long for that to wear on you. It got to where by the end of that storm, I don't even now, I think back and I don't remember anything except it was dark and it was snowing, and that's all I remember. And yet, after it was all over with, I got to looking at my journal, and I had sinks I had fixed, I had light fixtures I'd replaced, I had electrical problems I'd taken care of. I had all kinds of stuff I had done, and I have no memory of it. I don't remember it at all. And really figured I had imagined a lot of it until I called some of the customers that I had written down in there and said, hey, Jim, this is Rob. Hey, Rob, how you doing? You getting all better? I said, yeah, I got some sleep. They said, oh, good. You were pretty whacked out for a while. I said, yeah, no kidding. I said, look, I show here back on the 12th I was in and fixed your kitchen faucet. They said, yeah, that's right. I said, we appreciate you getting to us. I said, man, we don't know how you were coping. I said, yeah, me too. They said, well, send us a bill. And it was like that over and over and over. Things like that I absolutely do not remember doing. And sleep deprivation will mess with your mind like that. It'll rob you of some things. And the only way we were able to function then, my buddy Russ and I, is we were running on automatic. The things that we were doing, I push on the brakes. The things we were doing were just automatic, and we didn't have to think about it. We had the same places we went to and the same things that we did, and just kind of a routine that we got into, and we're able to manage to pull through it all like that. And so that's why it's important to kind of think that thing through. Christy was talking a minute ago about what were you saying? The books that the kids are reading, or?
I was just saying, even in the books that the kids read, they talk about taking turns on being watched, where one person sleeps.
Yeah, kind of the disaster scenario stories, that kind of thing.
Or just, not necessarily. I mean, some of it might be good versus evil and the battles, and they have to watch out for the bad guy. So
just kind
someone
of
has to be on the watch out.
Kind of a general theme, I guess, yeah. And I think that's important. We talked before, you read some of these things where people say, oh, if it gets bad, it's just going to be me and mine, and we're not going to let anybody in, and everybody should have been ready. And I'm thinking, that's nice, but we're going to need, I don't know about everybody else, but we're going to need a little help in a deal like that. We're not just, we're going to be a little bit picky as much as we can, but I can't stay awake 24 hours a day. I used to could, but even then, not for very many days in a row. And somebody else to kind of help keep an eye on things while I'm sleeping would be a good deal. Between Christy and I, we've got us and our girls, but even still, that's going to run a little bit thin. So it's just something to think about. If you hadn't thought about it yet, just remember, you can't be awake all the time to keep an eye on your stuff. You can't be on watch at night and working during the day for a long period of time. That just doesn't work out right. What are your thoughts, Christy? What do you think about that?
I think you're right.
No, seriously, how do you think is a way, this is something a lot of people are going to think about, how do you work something like that?
I figure you just have shifts like with everything else. Someone works a certain shift while somebody else sleeps.
How many people you think is good? How many does it take to do that? I guess the more people you add, the more garden you have to grow, the more wood you have to, I don't know, you don't necessarily have to cut more wood, I guess, but they say many hands.
More people to cut it.
Yeah. They say many hands make light work or whatever. On the other hand, too many cooks spoil the soup. Whatever that's worth. What is a good number, do you suppose? How many people do you suppose will show up at our house? Just doing a kind of a rough count in your head. It's almost impossible to say. Is that still pointing at you?
Yeah, it is, unfortunately.
Are you happy?
Oh yeah, I'm happy.
How many people do you think right now, if we think of the people that, for sure, and people that we'd be glad to be there, I can think of probably 6 or 8 different people.
Yeah. And then there'd be others.
There's a few people that I think will show up that have not done much in the way of preparing or getting ready, but I think would be assets to have. Just, it's hard to fault people for not really thinking about this through, because how unlikely is it? People have been predicting the end of the world and gloom and doom forever, and it hadn't happened yet. And so sometimes I think maybe I'm the weird guy for planning all this out. Everything's probably going to be fine. There's probably not a monster hiding under the bed. But what if there is? I don't know. That's kind of the way I look at it. I was waiting for her to add in something. We're gonna have to work on this team thing here a little bit. Anyway, it was just something to think about. I don't know how many minutes are we on there. I don't want to go long with this, but
almost 10.
Almost 10 minutes already. We hadn't even said anything, but anyway, go look at Brad's video. Bug Out Brad. He's got some pretty cool stuff on there, and got some pretty cool chin whiskers going too. He's gonna look good when he gets them a little longer. Anyway, Brad, thanks for the shout out from this morning. That was nice to wake up and see that. I appreciate that. Y'all go check Bug Out Brad. Look at that video where he's talking about sleep, and think about that. If you hadn't thought much about what you're going to do, how you're going to take care of everything, put some thought into that. When you're getting things ready, figure in at least maybe having a couple other people to be there and help out. Hopefully somebody that's already been getting ready, but if not, somebody that you think would come, family member, whatever else. Just something to think about. All right, Christy, what else can you think of?
I support you wholeheartedly.
Oh boy, that's my girl. Thanks, y'all.